So there's many things that can happen in life that can cause to end friendships and tear families apart. But one that appears in most times is the idea of trust. And what this can do is that it decides if someone can depend on each other. Distrust is what can cause friends to just cut their friendships and then also families to just fall apart. And this can also be applied to the story A Step from Heaven by Ann Knopf. So what happens is that the Park family starts developing distrust after moving. And the first to be affected by this and the most is Appa. Because as they went on, he starts building up these feelings of paranoia and suspicion towards his own family members, and this brings him to a very unnecessary level. So by moving to America, the Park family came to look for a better life, but they start having feelings of distrust and suspicion for the people around them as well in their family. So when the Park family moved to America, or Mikuk, they came looking for a new and better life. After arriving, the excitement between Appa and Uma was very greatly shared. Youngju states that they're happy to be in Mikuk. Many jobs, big houses, good schools, make a living, they say back and forth. Page 27. This shows that Appa and Uma really believed in finding a new life in Mikuk. Many of the things they could find in America was much better than what they could find in Hanguk or Korea. But these feelings of excitement start disappearing as stress builds up in the family and those feelings of paranoia and suspicion start to appear. So ultimately, distrust is created between the family members and Americans. Many signs of distrust start to appear in the family, especially in the middle parts of the book. So Appa is the first to be affected, and it's mainly pointed towards his feelings against Americans. So while describing Appa's personality, Youngju states that ever since Appa had to go 4 times to clear up some mistake with June's social security number, he has become paranoid that people are trying to trick him. Page 87. Appa's true feelings towards Americans appears. Now he can't even trust those who are trying to help him and his family. This distrust slowly leads to Youngju being beaten and proof of Appa's trust issues towards his own family. All this came about just because their family wanted to have a better life. Distrust has slowly appeared within the Park family and those outside of their family. This feeling of distrust helps create the feelings of paranoia and suspicion. The first member of the family to be affected by distrust is Appa. He believes that everyone is trying to trick him, and at the same time, he distrusts Youngju, that she's saying she isn't hanging out with an American girl Amanda, but when it's proven, she suffers for it. Overall, distrust between family members and the people around them can create this world of suspicion and paranoia.
Calm out.
Tony?
It was beautiful. You spoke very with power.
Leah?
You had really good posture, you were like really squared, and also you have a connection between the book or your speech and you and the audience.
Ryan?
So you had really good hand gestures. You hardly ever looked down at all. You stood very still and you speak very clearly and
Isaiah?
You were confident and talk really fluently, and you were tall and stand well.
Jenny?
People saying, you speak loudly and you gave a lot of emotion when you were giving your speech.
Michael?
have you done this before?
Did you practice? Tell us, did you practice a lot?
Yeah, just a little bit. But I've had some previous experiences with speeches.
A little feedback on terms of like growing suspicious of Americans. If you really think about it, that's kind of the that's the transition of becoming American, right? That which is once was foreign to your what's foreign to your parents will not become foreign to you. If you look at it between Youngju and Appa, everything is foreign, therefore everything should be distrusted. But for Youngju, it's everything is new, should be tried at least once, and then we can see if it's bad or good for us, right? And if you look at that lens, the lens that you're providing us, you show us the difference between someone who wants to become Korean American versus someone who wants to be Korean in America. And that's like a really big part of the book. So you look at Uma, is Uma trying to be Korean American or is she trying to be Korean in America? So she left her husband now. She left her husband. You really think is there any movement for her to try to be fully Korean American? Did she want to learn how to speak the language?
A little bit.
Michael.
She was the one who came up with the idea that girls were needed because they said she wanted to have better things.
Tony?
I think that she shows her Korean side when Young Ju was talking about how she borrowed money from Amanda, and I don't know what it was said, but
We don't do that in Hanju.
yeah, we don't do that in Korea, and that is not it's not acceptable. You will repay her, and so on and so forth. And so I think that really shows that the Korean side of Uma.
Thank you, Aaron, for bringing that. Oh, go ahead. Oh, wait.